Which one do you
I
want?
can't get us both in.
Do you want my
I can't
arms
get
are
us
longer?
both in. He's 6'6" and I'm 5'6", and this is what happens when we try to vlog together standing up. Look at this.
I don't know if this is gonna.
Is this what we look like to other people?
No.
Because this isn't right.
No.
All right, we're gonna have to sit. All right, hang on a second. Oh, there. Now, sitting is better. We have 6 check-ins coming today, one of which has already arrived, had no idea that they were going to be arriving early. They didn't clue us in on that, but they got here and luckily their room was ready. There was nobody in it last night. So happy surprise. And our food delivery didn't arrive as early as it usually does, which normally would not be a problem at all. But it just so happens that we were running very low on eggs. And so Jeff, who was doing breakfast today, knocks on our door and says, I don't have enough eggs to make the next batch of orders. So Curt and I went to the grocery store and got a couple dozen eggs to tide them over. Later on, the food delivery did come, so we're good now.
It was a new driver, obviously. So he was 3 hours later than they usually are, and he delivered to the wrong door of the inn.
Yeah.
So, you know.
No biggie.
One of those things.
No biggie. The food got to the right place eventually. Then we have a water issue. All of our water is discolored, and our neighbor contacted us, and his is also, so we know it's not just us. And it seems to be the part of town we're in. No guests have notified us or about this, so it's not bugging them. We're lucky. But here's the deal. If this doesn't get rectified fairly soon, when guests come into their rooms, their toilet water is going to be brown. Guests are going to come in and go, ooh, brown water, is it dirty? And we don't know what's in the water that's causing it to be brown, but it's just one more issue that we're going to have to deal with today. It's turning out to be quite an eventful day, full of things that aren't in our power to control. So we're just kind of running behind things, trying to clean them up and fix situations as best we can.
We tried very hard not to have emergencies. We have this little thing called Plan for Success. You know, always have plenty of backup.
It takes a village to run a guest house. You're at the mercy of the public works department to make sure your guests have a beautiful experience. You're at the mercy of vendors. You're at the mercy of so many different elements that are out of your control. And you'll notice I'm smiling because we're just used to this. This just comes with the game. So if you ever think about having an Airbnb or having a guest house, then just realize that you're just going to have to let these sort of situations roll off your back and just smile. And if the water is brown when the guests come in this afternoon, or if guests start complaining that their shower water is brown, sorry.
You know, if you do are thinking about getting an Airbnb or guest house, you should try this little test on yourself. What would you do if your water was brown? What would you do if all your deliveries were late? What would you do if, you know, you had 3 emergencies in one morning? What would you do? Those are good things to ask. And now?
And I just turned off the music to be able to do this vlog, and it just turned on by itself.
Yeah.
We've got 5 more check-ins coming today. And we have guests who are parked in the lot.
How many check-ins at Charm?
Charm has a whole bunch of check-ins today, too. He's got, I think, 4 or 5.
Okay.
So we're off. It's quite a day. We're full this weekend again, which is wonderful. And let's just see what the rest of the day brings. Hopefully it'll be a little bit less hectic and fewer surprises. I've come into one of our rooms so I can talk to you privately for a minute. There was a guest who identified on their breakfast request form as allergic to tree nuts. which is fine. We can handle that because both I and the guys who do the breakfast for us are all trained in allergen safety. And then the guests proceeded to order on their breakfast request form almond milk. Now, we've had guests who have checked with us before they arrive to make sure that we can handle their gluten-free diet, which we can very easily. And then they get here and they proceed to order the blueberry muffins. We've had guests say they're strict vegetarians who then proceeded to eat a plateful of bacon. And now we've had somebody who is allergic to tree nuts request almond milk. This was a moment of concern, and so we were trying to figure out what to do. Curt said, make sure that it says almond milk on the cup that we're serving it in. And I said, I'm going to text them to confirm that they really intended to order almond milk. And Jeff, the breakfast person, said, I will deliver it to their room and I will sit there and wait until they open the door to confirm that they wanted almond milk. And that's what he did. And the guest said, yeah, we know it's contradictory, but we want almond milk. You create an expectation for us to be concerned about you by writing that you're allergic to something. We take that extremely seriously. And then you go ahead and order something that, to our mind, would potentially be threatening to you. People are so weird. They want to create an expectation about something they need. And then once they get here, they kind of just go, oh, ha, 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 ha. I'm not really that allergic. We're trying to create a lovely stay experience for people and giving the people who have special concerns and needs what they want. And it's frustrating because I'll tell you something. They didn't seem concerned about it, but we were very concerned about it. And we have to be concerned about it. So thank you for making my blood pressure rise. I'm still, as I'm sitting here, it's after checkout time. I'm still worried that that person might have some sort of delayed reaction. I went to make sure that what we make the muffins with, that there was nothing in that they might have some sort of allergen to. And it was just oh, well. So I had to tell some of my family about this. So my sister pointed out that she has a grandson who has a tree nut allergy, but can eat almonds, which I did not know. Apparently almonds are just a little bit different. So people with tree nut allergies can sometimes eat almonds. I'm sure the guest is fine. I'm still clutching my pearls over it. We are getting out of Dodge. Curt used to be a residential appraiser. And commercial. And he had these boxes of appraisals that by law he couldn't get rid of for 7 years. But he hasn't been a residential or a commercial appraiser in the last 11 years. So we can finally have them destroyed. We're gonna take them to be shredded. We have to go about half an hour away from Provincetown though. It's the closest place to have things shredded.
I'm getting rid of my life's work. Hundreds of appraisals.
All right, shredding completed. That represented a lot of Curt's life before we bought the guest houses and moved to Provincetown. So I think it was a big weight off his shoulders. We have just finished the 5th weekend of being open at 7 Central and the 4th weekend for Charm. And I can't believe how quickly it's gone by. It's flying by so far, which is weird because if you ask any of us, we'll tell you that it seems like things are dragging, but clearly they're not. We just finished the 5th weekend. And does it seem like things are going fast or slow to you?
When we first got here, it was going fast. We were busier than shite. But now that most of our crew's in and doing most of the stuff, it's slowing down, which I prefer. It has allowed us to do some forecasting, budgeting, projections, all that high level stuff that all small business owners do. Right?
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. We are going to Johnny Ty's restaurant, also the Monkey Bar, which is part of that establishment. Our friends Johnny and David own that. Many of you may have been to their Fort Lauderdale business, which is called The Alibi. So every summer they come up here and they do Johnny Ty's in the Monkey Bar. It's a season opener. So there will be mostly other business people, maybe a few townies who are their regulars. Openings used to be a very common thing every spring in Provincetown. When we first bought the guest houses, we were invited every spring to multiple openings, but almost nobody does it anymore. And I feel like a lot of the new blood who have come into town have forgotten about traditions like that. They were really fun because at the beginning of the season, you got out, you got to catch up with everybody, you got to talk to all the new business owners in town. So it formed a community of business owners. And the Provincetown Business Guild and the Chamber of Commerce still do events, but there was nothing like being invited into a business and getting to know those restaurateurs. That was really cool, and I missed that. But times have changed, I guess. Times have changed.
He's absolutely right. We like some of the new business owners that are in town, nobody knows them.
Guests ask me all the time, can you get us a table at such and such a place? And I always say, I have no sway. I have absolutely no sway. They have no idea who I am. And clearly from watching this vlog, you know, it's not because Curt and I don't go out. We do go out, but but we don't meet the restaurateurs. It's their staff that we know.
Wah, wah. They said, can we tell you something? I go, oh, here it comes. You know, I'm doing my best.
Come on, I said, stop. Why are you in our alley? What are you doing? Look at the mess that you've made. It has been crazy.